Yes, guys, what's going on? Adam McCullough here, Full-Time Devils. Hope you guys are all doing well. We're back for another Transfer Daily live. As I said, 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. We're here live talking all things Manchester United, all things transfer window, and all things who's coming in and who's going out. As you can see by the title, today we're talking about Romelu Lukaku, as he's been linked with a move to Inter Milan on a £70 million deal. Now that's what Manchester United want, if we're to believe the reports coming out of Italy. We've also talked about the latest surrounding Matthijs De Ligt, as United continue to be linked with the Ajax defender, the young Ajax defender who's highly sought after. You hear about Barcelona wanting him, Bayern Munich wanting him, Manchester United wanting him, Juventus wanting him. This kid is the real deal. They're all after him, and apparently so are Manchester United, or at least that's what the papers will have you believe. Are United going to get rid of Lukaku? Are United going to sign De Ligt? We're talking about that today, so make sure you're keeping it locked. Make sure you're getting your comments in. Get all your thoughts in as well, because I can read all of them now. We've got just over 500 people with us live at the moment, so thank you for tuning in. And if you're not watching this live and you're watching this later, then where were you? You should have joined us at 8 p.m. when we went live. As I said, we're live every single day at 8 p.m. covering the live transfer news. So let's get stuck into this Romelu Lukaku stuff. The reports were coming out of Italy in the Gazzetta dello Sport, where they were saying now that Inter Milan have got their man and they've got Conte, the ex-Chelsea manager, in charge, they're starting to look out for new players and they're starting to look at signings that they could bring into the club. Romelu Lukaku is one of those that has been linked continuously with a move to Inter Milan, and now it seems to have stepped up a little bit. The narrative of the Italian press has changed a little bit, and Gazzetta dello Sport are now saying that the wages and the deal with the player and the club have been agreed, that Romelu Lukaku has accepted terms now. It seemed this could be a stumbling block, that maybe he wouldn't agree deal, he wouldn't agree wages there at Inter Milan. But now these guys are saying that isn't a problem. The wages, the contract, that's all been sorted out. All that's left to do is agree a deal with Manchester United. Now, Inter Milan have been trying to swap players with Manchester United. A little bit of cash and a player or whatever. We're hearing talks about Ivan Perisic, about Icardi potentially being involved in a swap deal. But Gazzetta dello Sport are now saying that Manchester United do not want any player in exchange for Romelu Lukaku. They only want cash, and they've set the price at 70 million euros, which is basically around 70 million pounds. Now, we paid 75 million pounds for Romelu Lukaku, so it would represent a 5 million pound loss on the player that we signed from Everton 2 seasons ago. In his time, he scored around 40 goals for the club in 2 seasons. His first season, he was our top goal scorer. Last season, Paul Pogba outscored him, as he had a dreadful campaign for himself personally. So now, where do we go with Romelu Lukaku? Do we keep faith in him, or do we let him go? He's one of those players that I don't think necessarily needs to be moved on. I don't think Romelu Lukaku is a major problem at Manchester United. But if Romelu Lukaku was to leave Manchester United, I wouldn't have much of a problem with that, to be totally honest with you, because I think we can get better number 9s. Romelu Lukaku was the man I wanted. When we were linked with him, and Morata and Chelsea were in there and all that, I wanted Romelu Lukaku at Manchester United. I really wanted him to come in. We eventually got him, but what has happened is he's not done it. He's not done it for Manchester United. He's changed the way he's playing. He hasn't been bullying these defenders. He hasn't been doing the things that he was good at Everton, and he seems to have bulked up as well, whether that was instruction from Jose Mourinho when Jose was here, or whether that's something that Lukaku's done himself. But he hasn't showed the form that he has shown for Belgium, that he showed for Everton, that made us put in that 75 million pound bid for him for United, and for that reason you probably let him go. If we sign wingers, if we sign a winger or two, you can then play Anthony Martial through the middle, Marcus Rashford through the middle. I think, though, we definitely need to bring in another striker if we do get rid of Romelu Lukaku, because when you're looking around, Lukaku's guaranteed at least 20 goals a season, you'd like to think, in a team that are doing well. But if we get rid of him, we need to replace those goals, because Rashford and Martial, yes, they should be coming of age, and yes, next season should be a big one for them. But at the moment, we can't rely on them for goals, and we haven't got a goal scorer that you could say will definitely get 30 goals a season. So if we do let Lukaku go, I imagine it will be late into the window after we've done a bit of our own business. But I imagine we'd have to replace him as well. And I don't think Oli would have planned to have brought in a striker this time around. So there we have it with Romelu Lukaku's story. We're also going to give you an update on De Ligt as well, because De Ligt has been linked with a move to Manchester United for a long time. Now the fee on this one, you've been hearing 70, 80 million pounds for Matthijs De Ligt. The latest on this one is coming out of Spain and coming out of Barcelona yesterday. There were reports by Catalan radio that Barcelona had now started to look elsewhere for alternatives to Matthijs De Ligt. Now this would be good news for us Manchester United fans if it was the case, but I'm a little bit sceptical about these reports that are coming out in Spain, in Italy, surrounding Matthijs De Ligt, because I think it's being put out there so that Barcelona will come in with more money for Mino Raiola's client. I think Mino's playing with us and he's using United's name to get his client a bigger deal, get his client more money, get his client a better contract, and maybe get a bigger transfer fee so that he gets a bigger cut of the pie as well. It wouldn't surprise us with Mino Raiola. We've seen how he can act doing business, and I think this could be the case again. But if it is true and Barcelona are briefing the press because they know they're not signing the player and they know that, you know, he's going to head elsewhere, then I would be very excited by that prospect. It doesn't mean he's definitely going to come to United, because you hear of talks with Bayern Munich and so. But if I could guarantee one signing this summer, it'd be Matthijs De Ligt, because he's an absolutely fantastic talent. But at the moment, what we're hearing is that Barcelona are looking elsewhere for a player. But like I always tell you guys here on MUFC Transfer Daily Live, you've got to ask yourself these questions. Who's briefing the press? Who's briefing the radio with this story? And why are they briefing the press and the radio with this story? There has to be a reason for it. It could be a simple case that it's true, but there could also be another case where they're trying to get a deal done elsewhere and they're using United's name. We've seen it all before. You guys in the comments talking about Sergio Ramos. Yes, he's been allowed to leave on a free from Real Madrid, but that's only because he's going to China. You think if he was coming to Manchester United, they'd let him leave on a free, have a day off? That one's definitely not happening. We've got over 1,100 people, 1,200 people watching us live at the moment. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're commenting, make sure you're sharing, and get a like on the video as well. Those are the two stories we're talking about today, De Ligt and Lukaku. Niche is saying that the De Ligt saga is nothing but FDJ 2.0. Rocky says, preach. No point paying that much for a defender, says Oluwatosin. Come on, bro. Like, we've seen what Van Dijk impact had on Liverpool. He was worth £75 million, even though at the time many of us said that it weren't. If you get this Matthijs De Ligt for 70, 80 million in this day and age, he's definitely worth the money. But like I said, I don't think we're signing him. I think he'll end up at Barcelona, and we need to be prepared for that. And you don't want to be having to delete tweets and looking stupid and all that. So guys, that's today's MUFC Transfer Daily Live. Remember, we'll be back live if anything kicks off. If there's any breaking news, make sure you keep it locked. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to Full Time Devils. For now though, I'm Adam McCullough. I'm out of here.